Hey everyone, I'm Daniel with HRT, and today we want to ask you if your placard sucks. So we'd like to bring you the HRT Maximus placard and give you kind of an overview of it and let you see if this would be a good addition to your kit. So first off, let's just address what's the difference between a placard or some type of pouch that is attached to the front of a vest. Oftentimes we get questions about, how can I use this placard on my vest or my vest with the placard? And so we want to kind of address that here. A placard is set up to go on the front of a vest that has loop on the front of it, as well as a slot for 2 buckles on the top. So what this allows you to do is use this hook field on the back of the placard to rapidly attach it to the front of a carrier and then use these 2 buckles for its final security. As compared to a vest where you have to weave all of the MOLLE in and you go through the 8 rows of MOLLE to attach all of your pouches. So then if you need to change your pouch setup for the day or for the month or week or whatever you might be doing, you end up having to take all that MOLLE back off, reorganize all of your stuff, keep those pouches somewhere safe and secure, and then put them back on later. As where a placard can just be unbuckled, removed, and then swapped back on with a new one. So I've had to deal with this, and I'm sure others have as well, where maybe you get your pouches all set up on your MOLLE vest, and you're super excited, you finally got everything where you want it to be, and then someone, usually that outranks you, says, that's great, take it all off because today you're doing X. And now you got to take all those stupid things off again, put them in your pack or somewhere else to make sure you don't lose them, and then go back to a slit carrier, only to then put all those things back in 3-4 hours later when you get done with whatever that task was. So if you have a placard system, all you have to do is pop those 2 buckles, remove it, and now you're slick. You can change out for any other placard you might need for that specific use case or day. So that's really where a placard is going to shine. And that's why we've tailored our systems to be set up for placards, all of our carriers, just because of the simplicity and the modularity that we want to maintain across the board. So now let's dive into what actually is the Maximus placard. So the Maximus placard has 2 attached front general purpose pouches that use a zippered opening, so you don't have any loud flaps and Velcro noises when you're going to open it. It also has 2 loop fields up at the front, so you can attach your motivational patches or unit patches or whatever other things you might get into there, especially if you're into all those patch collecting. On the sides, we have 2 pouches that have hard inserts, Kydex inserts, to hold magazine pouches or other utility tools. These are Velcroed in place, and you can remove them if you want to put in maybe a multi-tool or a flashlight. All you have to do is pop that insert out and put in a flashlight or whatever else you might want to put in here. All of our placards, except for mine, because it's too old, have side loops. You can run it on a chest harness, so if you happen to not want to use a plate carrier or you're just doing some type of search and rescue or hiking in the woods and don't want to have that, you can run your chest harness as well off of the same rig instead of having to go buy another setup. The heart of the entire Maximus system is our elastic inserts. So this is a large rectangular pouch that's open here in the top, and you can remove and replace the inserts that are Velcroed in here with hoop and look. So this allows you to change out your magazine insert system for whatever gun you might be running, or if you're using it in maybe a non-magazine manner, like you want to put 40mm, 37mm grenades or projectiles in there, or you just want to use one large open pouch, this will accommodate that by using that system. So you're not locked into one type of magazine use. Now, rest assured, you don't have to go order a whole bunch of extras when you buy it because it comes with the standard 3 AR-15 insert. So right out of the gate, you're ready to run as long as you're using some type of AR platform rifle. The additional inserts can be found on our website, and they'll list out what they're specifically for, and you can navigate what works for you. Let's get into a potential specific deep dive on a couple placards that we have set up here on the table. So, of course, these will work across the board, whether you're in a civilian role, law enforcement role, or military, or you just want to use it for whatever other role you might have. These can be tailored to it. So my specific one is set up more of it's set up for when I was in the Marine Corps, and it has some tools and features that I would want to have while in the field. If you take a look at this and you go, well, you're forgetting X, it could be somewhere else in my carrier. So if you think I'm missing something, feel free to comment, but it might be somewhere else, you never know. So using these two pouches, I have set up my right side one more for things I'm just gonna wanna grab real fast, tool-wise, generally, that I don't care if it's really sterile, so I'm gonna be in and out of this a lot. So in here, I happen to have some cuffs, cuff key, some mini glow sticks, full-size glow sticks, spare batteries for my weapon light and my handheld light, paint can opener, which is for stuck casings. So if your rifle jams up on a stuck case, you can stick that in there and pop it out. Spare ear pro, pens, right in the rain, things like that I'm gonna be in and out of a lot. This tends to get a little bit dirtier when you're in the field just because I'm grabbing things all the time out of it. Now my other one I keep a little bit more sterile, and I don't get into it as much just because of what's in it. This is all of my medical stuff, some boo-boo things. I obviously have a tourniquet thrown in here, which is great because it keeps it out of the sunlight and it keeps it from getting damaged while I'm moving around and things are dragging on my kit. I've got chest seals here in the back with this little pouch that's here in the back, and then just utilizing the elastic to hold other things in here. I do put lens cleaners and things like that in here as well, just because there's not as much dirt and junk going on inside of this pouch. So that's a great way of getting some segregation between what your specific task might be. You can utilize the two pouches instead of just having one giant one and keep some things separate. Now in here I do have just one pistol magazine pouch, as I have more on the belt, so I really don't need 10 of them. And then I have a multi-tool over here on the side, which I use all the time, so it's great to have it just right on top here. And it's nicely retained by the Kydex insert, so I'm not worried about losing it. And then I have my mags up across the top here. And testing out currently, I have different rounds in these. So the tan ones are hollow points, and the black one is the light armor piercing M855. Now, I said earlier this is a 3-year-old placard, so let me demonstrate. These are all loaded mags. They're fully loaded, and I'm not losing them doing that little upside down shake. So just to show you that even after 3 years, these inserts are gonna hold up. If for some reason you have an issue, we have a lifetime warranty, so reach out to us. Next, I'll get into this one, which is set up more in maybe a DMR or sniper setup, potentially. So in this one, I just have a flashlight here in this one pouch. I've left these a little bit flatter. There's nothing really in these. I will use this, though, to demonstrate how the inside looks. So as you can see, we have the 2 elastic slots and then one larger slot in the very back. And the inside of the pouches are all loop lined. So if you have anything with hook on it, you can attach that to the inside. It's also a good spot to put maybe an end user device or phone. And since this doesn't open all the way flat or tip over, that device is retained on the sides as well as in the front. So this one is using our heavy insert, which just holds 2 AR-10 mags or SCAR M1As. And then I was able to put a radio in here. Depending on the radio size you might have, this may or may not work for you. In this particular case, it does, although it's a little bit tight. So this could demonstrate maybe a SWAT sniper role who just needs 2 mags. That's all he really needs. This could be set up on a chest harness. You can go up in the mountains. Maybe you're hunting. Maybe you're some type of sniper system, and this is just all you really need, and maybe some tools. So once again, the placard is configurable to your individual needs, not forcing you into using it in some very specific way. And here we'll talk about maybe a search and rescue or a hunter's application, or someone who's working as a medic on maybe a SWAT team or a TEMS unit. This is set up with just the pistol mags on the sides, someone who wouldn't be using a long gun. And then all these pouches just have random medical equipment thrown into them. So there's some combat gauze in here. And then this main pouch, we have our zipper insert, so you can close off the entire top. And this is just full of all kinds of extra equipment and gear, seals, full-on med kits, spare gloves, things like that. All the little things you might need while working in a medic role can fit inside of this pouch. Now, if I was choosing to use this as a hunter or maybe search and rescue where I don't need my rifle, this would be a great application where I can put some maps, some GPS components, extra radios could go in here, things like that. Keeping this all nice and covered, I won't lose things, but being able to use the larger general purpose section of the Maximus for that equipment. We've also put one of our tourniquet hangers just on the back here. That hangs off the bottom, but we can also put it on any side just to show a little bit of modularity with our existing components that are on the website. So the Warrior Poet Society multi-hanger or some of our tourniquet pouches can all be paired across the board with these. Some of the other features to the Maximus that we'll kind of show off as well, if you happen to be running 40mm grenades, 37mm, things like that, you can put those into our SMG insert. And we do have two different types of this insert. One is a 4-slot, one is a 5-slot. When you check the website, you can determine what you'll need based on the size of the magazine you're using. So if you have a thicker one, like maybe a Scorpion, you'll want to go for the 4-slot. But if you're using the extended Glock mags or MP5 mags, things like that, you'll want to get the 5. These 40mm slip right in there. 37mm do the same, and you can reach those inside, and you can use a zipper top to close it off so that you won't have any issues losing one or damaging one with your environmental conditions. Also, the front of the pouches here, because of that elastic we discussed, will hold 4 more, 2 in each side. So if you need to separate your type of round based on your use, maybe you have some baton rounds, some smoke rounds, maybe the flashbang ones, you can separate those as you need to within your placard and keep them in different areas. So really, we just wanted to highlight some of the main features. Obviously, you can change the Maximus placard however you need to between the inserts and the front GP pouches and even the sides. You can make this work for you. We didn't want to force you into one very specific use case. It is an extremely modular placard that goes along with our entire mindset with our carriers and all of our placards that you can modularly change things around however you might need. So we're still super excited to offer these. Take a look at your gear, see if it works for you, see if maybe this might be a better fit or one of the other options you've seen today, and hop on our website and check those out at hrt.whoeer.com. Check us out on all of our social media accounts and our YouTube, and feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. We'd be happy to get you taken care of with a new Maximus placard.